Good day, good people. This is the HollaTheTruth podcast, brought to you by yours truly, HollaTheTruth, giving you the truth for the future, the present, and the past. But I gotta ask, can you handle it? What the fuck is up? Here we are back again. This HollaTheTruth podcast. Got a special guest with me. My friend, my bowling partner. I ain't gonna say the other shit that he is for me, but this is my guy. You wanna introduce yourself, brother?
How's it going? LeAutry Bruner. Dang.
Yeah, just give us some background, some history, some childhood shit.
From Oakland, California. Born and raised. Martial artist, bowler. Not gonna say the other stuff that he wasn't gonna say. Met this guy randomly. Went to the bowling alley, wanted to get a bowling ball made, and then met some other dude. What was his name again? No.
Shout out to Jay Boyd.
Right. The boy Justin. I was in a pro shop getting my bowling ball and everything drilled. This dude Justin walks in, and he was like, you know how to bowl. Come bowl with us tonight. Ended up being this guy. And then we've been hanging strong for the last, 2.5, almost 3 years? Roughly?
3 to 4 years.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's been like 4 years.
4 years, yeah.
Yeah. So in life, you think you are where you expected to be? Just in life in general?
Hell no. I expected to be a lot further than I am, but, we all got circumstances and shit that happens to where we don't end up where we expected to be, but it's not stopping me from being or doing what, my goals are in life.
So do you think it's anything that you would have done different that could have put you in a different position?
Yeah. There's a lot I believe I could have done differently, but I think if I didn't do them the way that I did, I wouldn't actually have the experience that I have now. So, having the experience that I have now at the age that everything happened, oh yeah, for sure I would have did a lot differently. But I enjoy my trials and tribulations that I have from the knowledge that I actually got from it. So it made me into a better individual and a better father at that.
Yeah, fatherhood.
Man.
Sheesh. Fatherhood gets spicy, brother.
Yeah, it does.
So, given that information, what would you tell your younger self?
Learn how to read people sooner. I think from my position being at work and then all my experience, and it's something that I used to do when I was in my 20s, that I used to go and hang out at areas, and I just used to, it's not creepy when you say it correctly, but I used to just watch people. So I will sit
people watcher.
Yeah. I would sit at, a high crowded area, go to Starbucks. I don't drink coffee, but I would get me like a refresher or something or Jamba Juice, and I would just sit and watch how people interact with others. How, my kind, as in male, interact with females, and watch how females interact with males, and what are the things that a male does that a female doesn't like, and then what things that a female does that a male doesn't like, and try to pick on the things of how to watch some people's energy. I realize knowing people's energy makes it a lot different on how they respond to you, because every action gets a reaction, whether if it's a positive or a negative, it's going to get a reaction. And so just being able to understand, if I take an action this way, I'm gonna get 1 or 2 responses depending on that person's energy. So
Facts.
Yeah.
And to be clear, the shit that we wouldn't speak on is not like no homosexual shit. I know that sounded kind of weird that neither one of us wanted to speak on it, but yeah, don't try to do that because I know how people get.
We work together.
Yeah, because that could have got spicy real fast.
Yeah.
So, we got a little bit about your past. You had a situation going on. I don't know if you care to explain it. I don't know how in depth you want to get about it, but I think the people kind of need to hear this shit here.
Yeah. So, me and this girl were talking. Mind you, when we met, it wasn't just, we didn't expect anything to be like that serious. So it was just two individuals
Trying to fuck.
Basically.
He's a sicko.
But enjoying life the best we can. Life was going on rough for the both of us at the time, and I was going through my divorce, and she's going through her own personal stuff, and we were just trying to, make some light out of the situation. And then the situation actually got serious. And when it got serious, things we realized that, we had to change, because in the beginning nobody cared about it because we wasn't expecting it to be that serious. But
was it personal changes or like changes to deal with one another?
Both. Because we both have our expectations from how someone would be in a relationship. So that's those changes, but then changes to deal with each other, whatever it is that the other one expressed that we had to kind of like get rid of, or I wouldn't say get rid of, but in a way kind of get rid of, to be able to make the other one feel comfortable. And mind you, I had my own shit that I was comfortable doing and not getting rid of, but
we all.
Yeah. But
like I say, therapy works if you do the work. You gotta do the work, though.
100%. But things happen. I mean, we're still cool. We still have our conversations to make sure everything is good. Mind you, it's like the whole situation, we discussed it from the beginning, so it wasn't like something that just caught me off guard. It was like her communication. I can say her communication changed me. Because I told her, like, that's kind of communication that I've never had before. And mine is with, my boys, but that's not the same, because it's the same, I'm not fucking you.
Yeah. That intimate connection isn't there.
Yeah. And so I appreciate her communication, because that changed me, and it made me realize, like, there are individuals and there are relationships that you can have to where the communication can make you see a bigger picture, and it can make you analyze the entire situation rather than just jumping to conclusions. For those that's not in the situation, they're not going to fully understand it unless you're in the middle of it, because you still got emotions and facial expressions and body language that's going to play a part. And if you're used to reading people, you'll then understand their intentions, as you assume that, or as you hope that you do. But shit happens.
Yeah, so niggas, we getting spicy. We gonna break down what the breakdown really is. Yeah, I know that's tough, but I think that's the podcast right there. This is Holla the Truth, man. We gonna holla the truth on this G thing.
Yeah. So when her and I got serious, she was still fucking, and in the middle of it, she got pregnant.
I'm pregnant.
And was trying to figure out between, who was the dad between him and I. We went to the doctor, because it was a high-risk pregnancy. So went to the doctor. Doctor kind of ruled out a whole bunch of things of what it was supposed to be. So we were confident, as in the baby was mine.
It's mine.
Woo! And then, but throughout the whole thing, we were still talking about it. There were certain DNA tests that you can do while you're still pregnant that's not invasive.
$1,500, nigga.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I might have got that one though. If I'm being honest with myself, I think we might have just had to break a check on that one.
Yeah, I mean, we thought about it and talked about it, and it got to a point to where I was confident, and so I got confident in it, and I was like, "There's no reason that we need it."
And you believed it, huh?
But I didn't realize, and this is like something that I should have realized, is that I didn't realize that she still didn't feel as confident as I did. So, yeah.
Shout out to my mama. Not to cut you off, but shout out to my mama because she definitely told me from a preteen, nigga, you always get the test, regardless. Yeah. So, that was something that stuck with me for a long time. And whoever it may have made mad, got to deal with it. You only know what you've been doing. I don't. I can't see behind closed doors. I can only trust you as far as my eyes can see.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, I had to squeeze that in there.
Yeah.
Get the test, niggas.
100%. Nothing wrong with it because, that doesn't mean like you don't trust the individual to an extent. But I know married individuals that even though they're married, they still got a DNA test, right? Regardless of them knowing what the other one's been doing, they had no issues like, hey, can we do it? And we have it for our records, and they did it for that. I even know people that didn't have issues in their relationship and just decided to go to court and automatically get 50-50. Just in case something happens, you can't take my child out of my life.
Which is also smart.
Yeah.
Niggas, we got to start knowing the game because we be getting beat over the head with this shit.
Yeah.
And the court system does not work in our favor, as most of you know.
Yeah. But I can say from experience with that, because when my oldest daughter was born, 2 weeks after, I had her mom served with court papers. But you got to understand, within the first year, they still breastfeeding. So it's still kind of against you. But the good thing is that they'll look at you want to be in your child's life. So in the long run, it pays to your advantage. But in the beginning, that shit hurts.
Yeah. So I think they got the understanding, but I don't think you just quite put it out there yet.
Oh, the baby's not mine?
Well, damn. Okay. If that's what we gonna do, then yeah.
I mean, I thought it kind of... Yeah.
Yeah.
More of the story is we took the DNA test. Little boy's not mine. Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of hit home for me as well, just because I know how it feels having a son,
Yeah.
And this would have been his first boy, and
I got 2 girls.
Yeah, so that shit kind of hit home for me too. I'm sure not as hard as it hit home for you. But what were your initial feelings?
Oh, I was hurt.
Hurt.
Yeah, I couldn't. And this is one thing I told us, that I had to have a conversation with my therapist because I couldn't express it. But when I did, I was able to express it and articulate it in a way that I wasn't trying to hurt her feelings. It was just letting her know how I felt behind it. And it was a understanding is that I wasn't hurt in the fact that, because she didn't lie to me about it happening. So I wasn't hurt about it being a lie. I was more so hurt that I was so confident that it was mine and it wasn't.
I don't know. Like the title. You're a better nigga than I am. Boy, I'd have been turned up in it. Nah, I don't know.
No.
Who knows? When you're not in a situation, you can say what you would do.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, if this shit happened when I first met her, emotions would have been different. But
yeah, definitely.
It's been...
But being locked in and about 2 years in is kind of...
Yeah.
Yeah. So what were your feelings after your initial... your initial reaction was kind of like, ooh, this is cringy. But like, what was the feelings, I guess, now? Like, where are you at with it now? What are your... what is it giving?
Honestly, because I'm a father, my main concern was the little boy. Like I told her when we found out, is that you need to take him to see his dad. Like I don't care about how I feel, I don't care about how you feel, nothing else like that. you know, him being the first dad and that being his boy, he needs to be able to be around his son and be able to bond with his son. So my main thing right now is because I'm a dad, I want to make sure at least that little boy is happy and spending time with his father as much as possible. I don't think anybody else, regardless of anything, but nothing should be stopping a child's relationship with their parent unless the parent is not participating enough to be in that child's life. And I believe that's one positive thing I can say is that she's not one of those that stop the child from being in the parent's life, because she does a shitload of driving for her oldest.
Which is good. Applaud to that part.
Yeah.
Can't applaud too much, but so, you know, you got some time in there before y'all figured it out. Was there an emotional attachment?
Yeah.
To him?
Yeah. Yeah, because I was there doing the growth, feeling him kick, doctor's appointments, seeing his little feet move around, everything. Even when it was born, it was an attachment.
That shit is cringy right now.
Yeah.
Damn, they're getting emotional about this shit, man.
Yeah, it was an attachment, which this is why I told her, like, as soon as we found out, he needs to be able to spend time with his father.
So what do you feel like your past played a role in, like, your response to everything? Your decisions and thoughts about it?
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
In what ways? Like,
one, I thank God for my mother.
shout out to black moms,
Yeah. For my father as well.
black dads.
I'm also a martial artist. And a lot of my family. One thing, like, my mom kept me busy. So she gave me one thing that I had to do and one thing that I chose to do. And so when I was a kid, I chose to play basketball and baseball, and she made me stay in karate. When I got older, I wanted to focus on karate, but she still made me do basketball and baseball. But it made me actually focus on, you know, I have to do things that I don't want to do, regardless. And it made my mindset change.
Message!
And so when I got older, and then I started traveling the world for karate tournaments and fighting, I think 30 plus states. I think I've been to 2 countries, working on going to more. Well, 2 countries for karate, right. But more countries that I think I've been in like 4 or 5 countries so far. But the role of being a martial artist and understanding that, one, I am a black male from the middle of East Oakland, and the courts don't work in my favor, and that I can't go around looking like an angry black man, that I need to be able to have my emotions and anger in control.
That part.
When I was the youngest, and even to this day, and I remember I telling you in the car that I black out within a second if I get too mad. And once that happens, I got no control. And so I've learned how to go from anger, sad, to then disappointment and frustration in a matter of like 30 seconds, to where I can control my emotions. And then I'm learning how to vocalize that I can't be vocal, just so it's not a misunderstanding that I just don't want to talk. It's more so the fact that I just need to figure out what the fuck I need to say before I say it.
That part.
I hate saying shit and then regretting it, and now I gotta apologize for the rest of my life for some shit that I said, and if you don't let it go, we just not gonna work. So I've been trying to figure that. That's like my biggest thing that I've been figuring out.
One of the things I most admired about you from like jump, your discipline. Your discipline is crazy. If you seen the intro video or the intro podcast, the first episode, I spoke on discipline. Discipline is doing what you need to do when you least feel like it. Mm-hmm. And this nigga's discipline is crazy. Just how he interacts with people, how he interacts in situations. Like, I've seen and heard situations where a nigga like me, it's gonna go all the way the fuck up. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I've always admired that. about you and just how stern you were with it. Like you know, you get down to the nitty gritty with it, and you can process shit fast enough not to have a just flat out reaction to shit. Like, I love that shit. I wish I could get there, you know, because my little police situations, they better quit fucking with me. And just in general, you know, people fucking with me. Like my little freeway incident the other day.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I'm not playing with niggas no more. But you know who you is if you see this. No, you probably don't, because we didn't really see each other, but I remember your face.
I can say on discipline, if you can, I don't care what age you are, find yourself some type of discipline. Like, it can be karate, it can be jiu-jitsu, it can even be boxing, it can even be sport shooting. Because, you know, that having to have the discipline of what you can and can't do and knowing the laws of what you can and cannot do, it plays a big factor in your mind. Because for me, if I hit someone, as bad as it sounds, if I hit someone, it's attempted murder. And so...
Because you're registered.
Yeah.
He's registered as a lethal weapon.
And so I can only use, and this is the law, is that I can only use the least amount of force the least amount of force to get away safely. So if I knock someone down and I have the chance to run, I have to run. And so I know to a lot of people it might look like, oh, he's just running away from a fight. No, I'm running away from spending the rest of my life in jail and not seeing my 2 little girls.
That is an attempted murder charge.
Yeah. And so that's everything that I do. I have to think about, you know, I don't want my 2 girls to be raised how I was. Like, my dad was in and out of jail and I wasn't seeing him that much. But when he was around, he was 1,000% around. And he gave me a lot of game of what he wanted me to do and what he didn't want me to do. And he always told me to be like him, but not him. And so, like, my dad sold drugs, but he was a hell of a mechanic and he was a hell of a people person. And so he told me to not sell drugs, but take him of being a people person. And so I took the people person and then I started working for a company that makes cars. So I kind of took his positive side of it and then ran with it. But my main thing...
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Like, it is making sense. I didn't really know that.
Yeah. And
besides the working on cars, I don't know about my dad working on cars, but he definitely sold drugs and he definitely was a people person from what I've heard.
Oh.
As you know, if you watch the other one, my father got murdered when I was 4, so I really don't have that, you know, male connection. Mm-hmm. Or father figure connection, should I say. So, jumping back to the situation, how did the reaction of, like, your peers and family influence, like, your thought process and your reactions to this shit?
Not much, honestly.
Discipline.
What I realized, and I had a conversation with a good friend of mine, is that I can't take biased thoughts. So I'm not peer pressured by anything, so you can't peer pressure me to smoking, drinking, fucking somebody I don't want to fuck. Like, I can't be peer pressured into any of that. But I do take the consideration of how these close individuals feel. And so that plays a factor in my feelings, but in the thoughts that I take, I have to have a non-biased opinion. So, and then I was having a conversation with him, was that I can have a male and a female in a room, and I can hear the male version from the male and hear the female version from a female. But just because I have 2 individuals giving me 2 different perspectives, to me, that's still being biased. I have to be able to speak to one individual and be able to hear both sides. And so that's why I say therapist is one hell of a thing, because therapists are unbiased. They'll give you the fact, and then they'll give you the fact from one perspective and another. And hearing it from one person giving you both perspectives, it allowed me to have a better thought process.
Message.
Because one thing I hate is giving somebody a biased opinion. Like, but you tell me what you want. So if you want me to be biased, I'll back you up 100%. But if you want to hear my emotions of actually thinking on a person on the outside of the situation, I'll be able to express how I see it from one point of view and another, because my emotions are not involved in the situation as well as yours is. So it didn't, like, it played on my emotions, but my thought process, I was cool enough to, still think and figure things out. I just really needed to talk to my therapist, so I just made sure that happened.
That's good. But you did mention something like you can't make me fuck nobody I don't want to fuck. You ain't never took one for the team? Right. All right. I just wanted to make sure.
Wait, hold. Let's
just wanted to make sure that I wasn't tripping.
We gotta rewind.
We didn't know I took one for the team, nigga.
Actually, no.
Never?
I almost did, and this is a story when I was in my 20s and we was in Portland. I don't know how this shit happened, but it was in the car, and this girl, I was like, everybody else chose up, and I'm like, well, fuck it. If they need to, then I'm gonna have to. And then we got in the hotel room, and one of them switched up and came to me. So,
all right, fair enough. Nigga, took one for a team a couple of times, so I
almost did.
Yeah, I feel it. Okay. So what was the hardest part to deal with this? Because it's a bunch of aspects that play a part in this. So what was like the
hardest part was having to explain to people that doesn't know the full situation. Like, you knew, like, you and I were having conversations consistently, so
yeah,
me having to explain to people that didn't know the full situation, and them asking me a shitload of questions, and me having to break down years of conversation into about 30
30-second conversations.
Yeah,
right.
that was the hardest part, because if you understand the timeline, then you know what plays a factor into it, and if you don't, and I'm not one to just run out and tell my business to everybody. I have a select few people that I feel comfortable telling my business to, and so those are the ones I mainly stick to.
Well, I appreciate you coming on the platform and doing it.
Yeah.
We trying to turn this thing up. I think this vulnerability, speaking on therapy and your past and your present, and I appreciate you coming to fuck with me on this.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. I know it was probably just because this is my nigga thing. But, I definitely appreciate it. I'm going to give you your flowers for that one. Yeah. So, yeah. Do you think there's anything you would have did different in the situation?
I don't know. I think I would have to, as bad as it sounds, I think I might have to be in the situation again for me to know. But thinking right now is like, I learned experience from it. I learned a different level of communication. I learned a different level of looking at things. So with my knowledge that I have now, if the situations happen again, 100% I'll do it differently. But
doing it differently
the first time,
got it.
I don't think so. I think I would just accept my wins, my losses, learn from it, grow, and then just keep it moving.
Like how you spoke on what you would tell your younger self. Do you feel like you accurately read this person?
My younger self?
No, like now. Because you said you would have told your younger self to learn how to read people sooner. So do you feel like you had an accurate assessment of this person before everything unfolded?
Yeah. And I probably would have told myself to more so wait, because everybody needs healing time and a healing process.
Told y'all that.
And I believe that both of us didn't get a chance to fully heal yet.
No, not at all. If I'm speaking from my own outside perspective, it was, I hate using the term, but like a rebound situation. Like, it was something new. It was like a fresh air thing. It was, I need to get away from here. I need to get away from here, and let's figure this out.
Yeah.
If I'm being vulnerable, I didn't approve, but it's not my situation. So, but yeah, I kind of was in disagreement with the idea of like something serious with this person, just because I see who he is, and I knew that No discredit to her, but I knew that she wasn't able to be receptive to what he has to offer as a man. Like a lot of men don't have shit to offer out here. They walk around here with this big dick syndrome, like they them niggas, and they don't have shit to offer but big dick. And women fall for that. They fall for potential. Men do too, but more specifically, women fall for potential, and that's what I kind of feel like she's seen in the other nigga, like the potential, and she just wasn't ready to move on from the toxicity. Like it's still a thrill. And I seen a reel on Instagram about a nigga talking about how women love the nigga they gotta chase, and then when you settle down and you ready to do all the right shit, it's kind of like, well, damn, you're boring. And it changed the whole perspective of you. So, not like he's a boring nigga, but compared to this other nigga, he's a boring nigga. I don't know. From my own interpretation of this shit, he would be the boring nigga, and it just kind of was like, oh, well, I don't have to worry about anything. I got phone passwords and all of this shit, so there's no worries there. And that was probably a worry. Like, well, if I don't have to worry about anything, I should be worried. And
no, actually, the worry was I was never home.
Oh, what?
Because I'm busy. Like work, 3-4 days a week, and then when I'm not working, I'm bowling, and then when I'm not bowling, I'm working in the city. And if I'm not working in the city, if I'm not bowling and not at my my primary job, then I probably have maybe 1 day out of 6 days in the house. But other than that, I'm not in the house. I blame my mom for that in a positive way, because I'm always trying to grow my life and figure out ways to grow. But in a negative way, I'm never home. So it's like, it's always a thought process of what is he doing? Who is he with?
I used to hate that. I was always accused of being with somebody or somewhere. Even for my fucking birthday. Do you know I got accused on my birthday? I took a solo trip for my birthday. My own shit. Talking to people the whole time so they knew that it was good. I was by myself, and I still got accused of being with other people. It was crazy. I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. It was even a picture that I posted and I took it from an angle that I guess made it look like I was in the passenger seat or somebody in the passenger seat took the fucking picture. And this motherfucker was like, yeah, it's looking real passenger seatish. I didn't know Mercedes had self-driving. Nigga, what? What are you talking about? Yeah, that was ridiculous. But if I'm not at home, I'm at the bowling alley. And if I'm not at the bowling alley, I'm at work. Period. Yeah. When I get it in, it's one of those three places. The laser tag room in the bowling alley. No, I'm just playing. I've never been in there with that. But I always make a joke about that because it's dark in there. Anyways, back to the topic at hand. Now that we got the full story, you got the understanding of what happened. You got the understanding of how your past impacted it. Let's speak on where the future brings you, because we can stay surface level and not really think about what's going on with the future. Mm-hmm. So how would this affect you going forward?
I have trust issues. But I'm able to express that.
Was that not an issue before you go? Were you too trusting?
Yeah.
Because I feel like sometimes I can be a little too trusting, like leaving my car running while I'm in the store type shit. With nobody in there, keys running, phone might fucking be in there or anything.
Yeah.
And, I feel like I'd be a little too trusting with certain shit.
Yeah. I can say, and I heard this quote from my martial art instructor. If anybody's in the town, it's from martial arts off of seminary in MacArthur. That's where I got my first, second, and third degree from. When I was a kid, my instructor told me, and this is a crazy way to put it, because a martial arts belt don't cost nothing but like a couple dollars. And he literally said, I'll give you the keys to my car before I give you a belt. And when I was a kid, I didn't understand that. Like, your car costs thousands, and you wouldn't give me a belt that's like $5. Like, that didn't make sense. But after a while, I understood it to where he was saying, like, you'll have the trust of my heart before you having to work for it. So I give my heart, and then if you decide to mistreat it, I start taking it away. And then once I start taking it away, it's harder for you to be able to give it back. But I can't treat every individual the same. So it's like the next person that I possibly end up talking to, whether if it's just a friend or someone new that I meet, I feel like I'm gonna do the same, but it's gonna have more stipulations to it.
Yeah.
Cause like I had a conversation. This shit hurt. And anyone still dealing with anything that way, I will probably not indulge in any type of anything. But one thing for me is that I don't like to lie about it. So if you ask me, I'll tell you. But if I ask you, I hope you tell me the same thing. And if you choose not to and I find out differently, it's different. Because I'm not, and I think I told you before, I'm not one of them niggas to go through a phone. Like, everything that happens in the dark comes to light. So that's what happened a lot, is that things that happen behind closed doors end up having to come outside sooner or later.
Well, I'm a toxic nigga. I'm going through phones, bitch. I needs to know. Because you bitches be lying just as much as us, and y'all try to make it seem like y'all don't.
Mm-hmm. And they be lying a whole lot better than we do.
A whole lot better, because y'all gonna keep everything fucking consistent. The whole day gonna go the same. I swear to God, if I didn't know, if this bitch didn't tell me she cheated on me, I would have never knew. I tell you.
You raggedy bitch.
No. That's a story for another day.
I mean, it's the same thing with mine, because it's...
Yeah, bro.
The only reason why I found out is because she said that she was pregnant.
Yeah, boy, you motherfuckers. Yeah, that was spicy. This bitch is out of pocket.
But to be clear, we wasn't, at the time of it happening, we was not in a relationship. We were still in the talking stages of figuring out if we wanted to be in a relationship. So, technically, it wasn't cheating, but, the storyline of it happening, there was lies behind it.
Distrust, what's the word? Can't think of the word.
Dishonesty? No.
Dishonest, sneaky, I guess. I don't fucking know. Brain fart. Anyways, so are you open to the idea of more kids or like another relationship? I mean, you just spoke that you kind of open to another relationship. Maybe, depending. But more kids, are you open to that idea? Are you traumatized from that?
No, I'm not actually.
You're not traumatized from it? Like, you're still open to the idea?
Yeah. Because what hit me the hardest is that when I had to tell my oldest, oh my God, I think that hurt the most, because she cried. Because I picked her up from school, and she cried in the car.
You gonna cry in the car?
And then we got home, and then she cried some more. And then Justin came over, and as soon as she seen Justin, she was crying some more. And then I had her pack her bag, and Justin and I was I think we was in my room talking, and she was in her room, and she ran in the room still crying some more. Oh my God. And then I took her up the street to my mom's house, and as soon as we got to my mom's house, she broke down some more. And I was like, I've never seen her cry that hard. And mind you, like, she had cancer when she was 1. So this little girl been through a lot. And to see her cry that hard, it hurt me, because, in my opinion, she's stronger than I have ever been. And so she told me in the car, she was like, I just want to continue being a big sister. And I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, well, I want you to have more kids. I want mommy to have more kids. But I want more brothers and sisters to continue being a big sister. And so...
You and mommy gonna give her more kids?
Huh?
Oh shit!
Me and my baby mama, we cool on co-parenting. We can
makes
keep
two
it
of us, brother. Yeah. Shout out to my baby mama, because I hate using that term. I only use that term when I'm talking to niggas.
My mother's child.
Shout out to my child's mother.
Child's mother, yeah. My mother's child.
Yeah.
Child's mother.
Shout out to my child's mother, because I know I put her through hell through the pregnancy, and I apologize for this several times, because I didn't know no better. I was still trying to fucking get the idea of being a father or having a child. I was always nervous about that. Just, it's ample things that can go wrong in that situation. And I just had all these superfluous thoughts that, something was going to go wrong. I have a bad habit of being pessimistic. I've, worked through that a lot. I try to counteract those thoughts. But yeah, at that time, I wasn't receptive to the idea. I had just ruptured my Achilles and some more shit. So it was just a battle. I was internally fucked up. I had a whole nother situation that had happened a couple years before that I was still fucked up and traumatized from. And so yeah, public apology. I apologize to you for that because you didn't deserve that. And, being where we are now, I definitely appreciate how receptive you are to the new me. And I just hope we can continue to grow as people and with each other, without each other. But yeah, I love you dearly, and this is my public apology to you.
That takes a lot. Not a lot of people can do that in public.
Yeah, I definitely owe her that. It was a situation. So, given all that you have, where do you see yourself in the next couple of years?
Hopefully building a business that we're creating, working on being professional with bowling, graduating with my computer science degree.
Degrees. By the way, C's get degrees. I think it's on some pass-fail shit now. I don't even think they give out grades no more.
Yeah, they do.
Weird. Oh, they still give out grades.
I've
been out of school for a long time.
Growing at work. Like I have a lot of ideas that I want to do because a lot of things that's popping up on social media, and I'm like, I can do that, but
yeah, well, you can do that.
What they say, you make time for the things that you want. So I'm starting to actually make the time for stuff. So been doing little things here and there. I still got to buy logos and stuff like that, and
trademarks and all this old shit.
Yeah,
business is hard, but
yeah,
what isn't?
Yeah,
anything that you after is gonna come hard. Relationships are hard. Marriages are hard. People get this idea. Women need to really stop running with this idea that once you get married, things change. No, this shit should already be established before you get married. So the idea of marriage, I'm gonna get into that later because I go on a fucking rant about that.
One thing that I do like, I don't know if anybody's ever watched like Kobe's interviews and things that he's had. His work ethic, oh my God.
Mamba mentality. They got
crazy
commercials about it right now, too.
So, I don't know if you've watched it, but this dude sleeps 2 to 3 hours at a time. He worked out 4 to 5 times a day. Mm-hmm. And then this is the part that got me, and this is what made me believe, like, nothing can stop you from being a parent. He will be on a road trip at a game and say his child had an event, and, they get days in between. He would finish the game, fly back home, be there for the event for his child the next day. After the event, he'll fly back to where the team is to make sure he's there for the game the next day. And I'm like, yeah, that's work ethic.
Mamba mentality right there, Just stay there with that.
And so they say you get 24 hours in a day, so what are you doing with it?
You're sitting on the couch, you're watching TV, and your life is passing you by. You keep procrastinating over and over.
Yeah, I work 12 hours at my job, but while I'm at work for 12 hours, I'm actually doing my homework. So I'm using my downtime at work to do that and figure out other business stuff. So it's like, if I have downtime within my 12 hours, what am I doing? And then other than that, I think I get 4 hours of sleep a day. So other times I'm trying to figure out other digital things to do and other ways to make passive income. And
you spend all day on the phone anyhow. Why don't you make a phone call that's going to help you in your future?
Things like that. So it's a lot.
Okay, this is a short question. We'll take a yes or no on this. Would you be willing to open that door with her again?
Yeah.
The fuck is he talking about?
Because communication wasn't the issue. So, like, honesty, all that, it was perfectly fine. It's just, when you're stuck used to old things, it's kind of hard to get out of your old ways. What do they say? You can't teach a old dog new tricks.
Bullshit, boy. I got an OG bitch right now.
But you guys know the saying. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. But,
Facts.
They can learn new tricks once they get a habit of seeing different. So,
okay. So, I got these little segments that I want to introduce, being that you're the first person. It's called Change Clothes. No, nigga. The idea is to put yourself in her shoes.
I did. And that's why I needed an unbiased opinion. Because the first thing I thought is the embarrassment that she had to explain to everybody. Like, that's not easy to do. And then come from the background that she had with, that situation. And then with her new situation and having to explain that this comes from a prior situation. It's not that easy to do. And it's hard to express it without, people judging. Because everybody judges.
Definitely. All that surface level judgment shit. Dig a little deeper, people. I'm going to reiterate that a lot.
Yeah.
Dig a little deeper. Like, we got to stay off the fucking surface. Let's grab that shovel and dig deep.
Yeah. And I'm not the person to judge. Like, I hate judging people because I don't like to be judged. But I'm the nigga that's, if you tell me you want to go do something, we'll go do it. And then I'll ask you questions later on why. Like, hey, you need my support. I got you. So it's the same thing when I, had a conversation with her is that I didn't judge her on anything that happened. We just had conversations regarding it. And then, we just went from there. So we all need those individuals in life that don't judge us to actually give us different perspectives. And if we don't have the opportunity to get a therapist to give us
Therapy.
the non-judgmental perspective, you probably got some friends that would for sure. They'll probably give you the hard truth first. And then after having time of thinking about it and processing it and things like that, they'll start asking you questions to not protect the other one, but to make you think of being in the other person's shoes.
And that's Change Clothes. So, to close this out, one of my go-to questions. What is the truth that people have a hard time accepting about you?
Shoot. That I'm too calm. Everybody thinks that I'm extremely calm. I mean, that's by choice, but in reality, I'm not. I just train myself on looking calm. But when I'm pissed off, my arms start tingling, my heart starts racing, and then I get tunnel vision. But the hardest thing is to people to believe that I'm as calm as I am, and then I'm not as violent as I should be.
Your hands are registered, nigga. You can't be violent.
But not everybody know that.
Right. Yeah, nah. Speaking of which, I'm gonna cut you off because there was a story of this nigga. I know this nigga hands not registered. He was just a bitch ass nigga.
This nigga's scared.
And nigga tried to fight him, and oh no, bro, I can't fight. My hands is registered and all this.
This nigga's scared.
Nigga, I ain't never heard a nigga in a street fight gonna call the police because your hands is registered because you beat him up. You gotta chill. You a little different story. I know your shit. I've seen your shit. This nigga, I ain't believe that at all. My hands is registered, so I can't fight. Nigga, that nigga ain't calling the police on you. Man, he beat me up and his hands are registered. I want him to go to jail.
If y'all ever seen that video he posted of a dude kicking a dude in the face, that was me.
Yeah, when you chasing your goals and then life coming.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, definitely. That was a loud ass clap. Anyways, so this is the HollaTheTruth podcast, bringing you the truth for the future, the present, and the past. But I gotta ask, can you handle it? Shout out to my brother Lee for being vulnerable with us and, giving us them hard truths. Moral of the story is read people early. Try to get under that surface. That's the idea of life. You got to get up under that surface. A lot of people like to stay surface level. And once you get up under that surface, you can see what the fuck it is that you need to get to. We would have never found oil if we didn't get under the surface, We wouldn't be driving cars and all this old shit if we didn't get under the surface. So again, I appreciate your vulnerability. Is there any questions you have for me?
No.
Yeah. So with that being said, we're going to wrap this shit up. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I know this was a bit longer than my first episode, but I'm pretty sure you got the entertainment. And like I said, eventually, you're going to want to be here for this shit. If you don't like it now, if you don't like it later, eventually, you're going to want to be here for this shit. So, my guy. And we're out.